once again, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time joining me today. Hi, my name is Hannah. I make a lot of different videos here on YouTube, sometimes story time, sometimes tattoo related, sometimes everywhere in between. It's just whatever I feel like or whatever you guys ask for, and you guys did ask for a video about my wedding that Dustin and I had last weekend, March 2nd. So obviously that's what this video is about. If you are new here, I highly suggest that you check out my story times playlist, Jennifer series playlist, I have all different kind of playlists on my channel. There's something for everybody, I like to think. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. So, as you guys know, Dustin proposed to me while we were in Hot Springs, Arkansas, in November, and I always knew that I did not want a big fancy wedding. I don't want a white dress. I don't want all of this rigmarole going on. Like, that's not what I want. It would be too stressful. I'm way too anxious of a person. I hate that many people. No, like, it's never been something that I wanted. Also, I view it as a huge waste of money. No offense if like you had or you want a huge fancy wedding with the dress, the bouquet toss, the garter toss, like everything, the huge cake. If that's what you want, that is so awesome. And like, that's gonna be awesome memories and great photos and all this kind of stuff. But for me, I've just always viewed it as a huge waste of money, a waste of time. I just think it's a big show for no reason. Like, what's the point? So I'm just like, it's not for me. So when Dustin proposed, I immediately knew I did not want that huge fancy wedding. I don't want anything remotely similar. I want it to be very, very small. So I knew that my grandma has been the acting justice of the peace in our parish since my grandpa had to give it up because of his Parkinson's disease. So she has been the acting justice of the peace. And if you don't know, my grandma, Mama, is my best friend in the whole entire world. So obviously I knew I wanted her to marry us because how cool is that? So I basically talked to Dustin about it and he's like, whatever you want, I don't care. So I basically came up with the idea we could just do my immediate family, Dustin's immediate family, at my grandparents' house. Mama could marry us and then, it'd just be really quick and then we could go eat somewhere, do whatever we want for the rest of the day. So that's what we did. It was literally just my grandparents, my parents, Dustin's parents, his siblings, his grandparents. That's all that was there. I like to say it was really small, but I mean, to me, it wasn't. It was like 25 people because Dustin has 2 siblings and a stepsister. He has a stepbrother, but he didn't come in because we were like, hey, it's just a really small thing. You don't need to fly in from Colorado. We don't want you to waste that kind of money. Don't worry about it. So it really was a super tiny ordeal. Like, it was super small. I'm so thankful because literally a gigantic wedding would be the worst case scenario for me. I would hate it. I would not enjoy the day at all. It's just not for me. I do not like being the center of attention. I do not like having all those people looking at me. I just don't like that many people. And to me, even like the 25, 24 people that were there was a lot to deal with because the majority of them were Dustin's family. And like, I love his family, but I haven't been around like his grandparents and, all that kind of stuff. Haven't been around them a super huge amount. So it was kind of a lot even still, but it was okay. Like, I was fine. But overall, it was a really awesome experience. I was so glad that Mama was able to marry us. It was a really cool thing because I like basically grew up at my grandparents' house. My mom's water broke when she had me at their house. So it's like, my mom's water broke there. I grew up there. I got married there. It's just like a really cool thing. And it's like a really sentimental thing too. So that was really cool. It was awesome. I was really emotional. I cried. I'm not gonna lie. It was dumb. I hate crying in front of people, but I totally did. But it was really awesome. It was great. I might share some photos in this video. I'm not sure. Probably not that many if I do share any though, because I don't want to like share pictures of like Dustin's family and stuff like that. So, you know. Whatever. But yeah, we did get married. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, this is my ring. Again, it's not anything huge. It's really, really tiny. Actually, it's one of the smaller engagement rings or wedding rings I've seen. But if you didn't see anything about that, it is from the 1980s. We got it while we were in Hot Springs at an antique store. And I just really love it. It has this wraparound here is actually the wedding band. So it's the engagement ring and the band together. It's awesome. I'm not like this huge lavish person. I don't like having these huge, wildly expensive things like events, gigantic wedding ring. I don't need that. I feel like it's kind of a waste of money. Again, I'm not hating on anybody who wants to do those things. If you want a gigantic engagement ring, if you want a gigantic wedding, a huge reception, do you. Like, just do what you want. But for me, it's always just seemed like kind of a waste of money. And maybe it's just because I grew up with not a ton of money. Like, my family was never poor, but we were never like rich. Like, I literally grew up seeing photos of like my mom and dad getting married at the courthouse. Like, my parents never had a huge like wedding or reception or anything like that. It's just like, it's never been something that I valued. Like a huge wedding or a huge engagement ring, never really something I wanted. And to me, it's just, it comes down to what my mom has always told me. It doesn't matter if you have a huge wedding, a huge reception, or if you get married at the courthouse, you're just as married. It doesn't matter. A huge reception's not going to make your wedding or your marriage last. It doesn't matter. I mean, I know people who've had huge, gigantic weddings, just like the biggest to-do that you've ever seen, and they got divorced like 2 years later. And my parents got married at the courthouse, and they've been married for 28 years last February. Like, in February, it was their 28th anniversary. So it's like, it doesn't matter. Just because you have a gigantic reception and a huge wedding doesn't mean that your relationship is going to last. And just because you have a super tiny wedding at a courthouse or with the justice of the peace doesn't mean your wedding or your marriage is not gonna last, you know. It doesn't matter. To me, it's just never been important. Like I said, if that's your thing, go for it, do you. That's awesome. I love that, and I wish you nothing but the best. I just knew that that wasn't the thing for me, which is fine. Like, everybody is entitled to their own wedding. Like, it's your day, you know. It needs to be what you want, not what your mom wants, not what your grandparents want, not what your dad wants, whatever. It's about you and your husband. It's not about them. You know, they've already had their wedding. They've already had their opportunity. It's not about them. It's about y'all. So that's just really what's important to me. I know I got a little bit rambly there at the end, but that's just how I am. If you've been here, you know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me again today. Leave me a like if you like this video, comment down below, and subscribe because I make new videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you guys once again so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!